Hello and welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. Hi, my friend. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy, and this is your home for feeling better, for feeling good as a woman in dentistry, as a woman leader, as a woman who creates and births great things, who has great ambition, who has big ideas, and who just wants to feel good and enjoy her life. Today, we're going to be talking about the striving, that wanting to be better, to feel better. And for a long time, you might have been feeling this. Like you want more money, more respect, more appreciation from your patients or your team. Maybe you want a better body or feel healthier in your body. You want more strength. You want more vitality. Maybe you want more rest. Maybe you've been wanting something for a very long time. And what I'm focusing on today is the thought behind it that you need to be different in order to experience that. We have this really interesting need to be different, to be better. But what if that belief that you've had that you need to be better in order to make more money, in order to have a better team, in order to experience, a better body, you needed to be someone different? What if that thought is exactly what's holding you back from experiencing it? Does that make any sense? Let me say it again. Behind all of our desire, that doesn't go away if you pay attention. Maybe you've been wanting it for a very long time and you've been beating yourself up saying, why am I not taking action on it? I just need to be more motivated. I need to be more disciplined. And you're telling yourself, in order to get the thing, I need to be different. Who I am is not good enough. If I need to experience or want to experience a team that's stable and stays and isn't transient and is dedicated and helps me in the office and I feel really great about, I need to be a better leader. And what if that thought, that who you are right now is not enough, is the exact belief that's holding you back? Because spoiler alert, it is. It is the only thing standing in your way. Years ago, I remember I was having a really hard time in my partnership in my ortho practice. And I had an incredible partner. She and I were so in sync. We had great vision, shared vision for the practice. She's so great at ortho. We had the same treatment philosophy. We had the same philosophy and values around how we treated people in general, our team, our patients, our people that we collaborated with, in the community. And we got each other excited. She was fun. And the two of us really worked really well together. And there was a point in our partnership, as in any relationship, where we had a really rough time. And right now, I can't even recall exactly what it was, but man, we were at odds. And you know that feeling when you walk in the room and you just feel this pressure and tension and stress from someone else? It was hard to even be in the same room with her. And I know she was feeling the same with me. And we kept trying to placate it and make it seem silly and fun. And I kept throwing softballs of reaching out to her, and she kept trying the same. But man, there was so much stress between us. And this is a longer story, but I remember thinking to myself, I want a partnership where it feels easy and fun again. I want to experience coming to work and just feeling like we're on the same team again. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? Where am I making a mistake here? How can I be different? How can I be better? And I was driving to work one day. I was obsessing about it because I thought, okay, we used to do so well together. Something's gone wrong here. And remember, whenever that happens, I don't know if this is the same as you are, but I either go to blame, well, that's usually where I go to, or feeling really sorry for myself. And so the blame at this point was on myself. Yes, I would blame her. When in conversation with my husband, I'd say, listen to how she did this and listen to this. But really, the blame was on myself. I was driving to work, stressing out, who's to blame? Am I to blame? Is she to blame? And I was just focusing so much on this. Okay, how could I be a better leader here? How can I step up? How can I be a better person, a better partner? How can I fix this? How can I be different? How can my language change? How can my communication be better? I was so focused on how I could change me and how I was not good enough, really doubting myself. Maybe she's right. Maybe this isn't possible. Maybe having a partnership that feels fun and easy and free isn't possible for me, isn't in the cards for me. So much self-doubt. I'm driving and I noticed this light shining on a barn in front of me. And I looked at it and I looked over my shoulder to see where the light was coming from. And there was the most beautiful sunrise just over my shoulder to the left that I had been missing. And what I realized in that moment is I was so focused on being better, on changing me, on changing the situation, that I missed the beauty of what was there all along. That I was so intent on fixing, changing, striving for something different, that I was missing the beauty right there in that morning. And that metaphorically, not just of the morning, which please, let's just hold a moment for that. How much of your life are you missing? The beauty, the miracle in your life, are you missing on a day-to-day basis because you're obsessing on striving for something different? And you're missing on the miracle that is there right now. I mean the sunrises and the sunsets and those moments with your kids or your loved ones. I mean the taste of the food you're eating. When was the last time you were present enough to enjoy the food you were eating? The coffee in your coffee mug, the beautiful flowers on your desk, this feeling of the clothes on your skin. When was the last time you were present enough to actually enjoy what is who you are? Let's talk about your body for a moment. You know, so often in my life, I've wanted my body to be different from what it is. Not thin enough, not tall enough, not strong enough, and missed out on the health of my body right now. The beauty of it. And we get that, right? When we look back at photos of ourselves, we're like, oh my gosh, I beat myself up when I was 25. I thought I was XYZ. I wasn't good enough. But oh my gosh, you were beautiful, Tarryn. Look at your strong legs. You ran marathons. You did 100-mile bike rides. You were so athletic and fit. And at the time, I was still so striving to be something different. I was missing on who I actually was and the power of it. And this moment as I was driving to work, really stressing about my partnership, and had this beautiful awakening moment of realizing, whoa, behind me is the most glorious sunrise. Not only did I realize I was missing out on the moment all around me and the power around me right there and then, but I was missing out on the beauty of this partnership that I had with this incredible woman, my partner in the ortho practice that we started together. We started an orthodontic practice from scratch, Megan and I. We started it from scratch. We created thousands of beautiful smiles together. We built a beautiful business based on values, based on what we wanted. We supported each other. I saw patients while she had 3 months off with her daughter when she was born, something I had longed for with my pregnancies and my children, that I never had the support for. What a gift! She carried the practice when I took my whole family to Africa for 3 weeks. What a gift. I didn't even think about it. We came together in so many beautiful ways. We created incredible smiles. We took on complex cases. We courageously tried new techniques. We held each other up. We held community events. What a miracle. And all I was focusing on were the problems, how it wasn't good enough, how the striving for something different was making me miss the power of what we had. And what that was a beautiful opening for us to have a conversation. If we could have done so much together, of course we can have a conversation. And that conversation changed everything for us. It was hard. There were tears. There was a lot of things still left unsaid. It was messy. It wasn't perfect. But it changed the trajectory of how we experienced our practice from there going forward. Because I know that, and this is true for any relationship in your entire life, hear this please. If you are feeling the strain, they are too. It is inevitable, whether it's a team member, a patient, a husband, a wife, a sister, a parent, a daughter, doesn't matter. If you're feeling the strain of the relationship, I promise you they are too. And to be able to just be who you are, you do not need to change a thing. And it makes so much sense that we feel that way, that things need to be different, because that's how our society has trained us to be. You need to be thinner, you need to be wealthier, you need to this, you need to that, constantly putting us in judgment of ourselves, in competition with other people. And dentistry is such a proponent of competition with other people in dentistry, with other businesses. We're constantly in competition financially. Of course, we're seeped in language and in messages that are telling us to be different. And I'm inviting you to see that striving for different, the striving to be different, might be exactly what's holding you back, because you're focusing so much on the problem and not recognizing the truth of who you are, the power that you have in that moment. What if that not enoughness, that feeling of not being good enough, is exactly what's holding you back from achieving what you want? I am not saying that desiring to experience something different isn't a beautiful thing. I believe in it deeply. Keep dreaming, keep wanting to experience more in this life. That's what it's for. Never settle. Never settle. Allow yourself to dream bigger, to want to experience something different. Allow yourself to change your mind and say, I thought that's what I wanted, but now I want something different. Yes, please, more every day. That's what we're here for on this planet. And can we just shift the energy underneath it that says, I'm not good enough, to I deserve this and I'm excited to see what comes. Feel the difference energetically. To the struggle, identifying with the struggle, embedding yourself in the struggle, embedding yourself in the what is. This is so bad. This is so hard. I'm going to go back to that example when my partner and I were in this challenge. Man, I made up stories about why she wasn't good enough, why I wasn't good enough, why the situation wasn't good enough. And I'd talk to my husband about it, and I'd complain about it to my coach, my life coach, and I would journal about it, and I'd dream about it. And nothing would shift. It wasn't until I started recognizing all the gifts that were right there all along that suddenly things started to shift. When I started to acknowledge that I was good enough, that there was nothing wrong with the situation. Sometimes life just gives us an opportunity to choose differently, to have a new choice. That's it. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just being available to change your mind and know that you are good enough to do that. It's like being in front of, I've used this analogy so many times, I love it. It's like being in front of a buffet. I never forget, I went to this wedding once and they had a buffet for the meal. There was sushi, there was pasta, there was roast beef, there was chicken. I mean, this was a ridiculous wedding. There was so much food. There was a whole raw bar. And there was also all the desserts out at the same time. I mean, you could literally go anywhere you wanted and start anywhere. Maybe you've been at one of these. And I remember getting so excited. And I was like, I really feel like a really interesting, different sushi. And I went And I got a little plate of sushi with all new things and new sauces and new pickled gingers. They had all different pickled gingers. Imagine that. And I came back and I ate one. I thought, not really what I want right now. This rice is feeling heavy. Maybe I want just raw fish. So I went to the raw bar and I had a little bit of crab. There was some crab meat there. Oh, and I tasted a little. I thought, oh, look at what my husband's eating. He's eating, and I don't remember what it was, but it looked like something delicious. And I thought, that's what I'm going to try. Notice how I didn't judge myself at any point. I didn't feel not good enough. I didn't feel bad about myself. I didn't tell myself I was wrong. I was just trying something new. And the desserts, how many times have you done it with a dessert where it looks really good and you taste it, you're like, nah, it's just chocolate. It's nothing special, but I'm going to try the key lime thing. And you taste it, you're like, ooh, a little sour. No, I really think I want. Notice how there's no judgment. There's no making me wrong. But just the desire to experience it makes it so. Giving myself permission to try new things, giving myself permission to experience something new and not putting judgment on it that I'm not good enough. And look at that. Instantly, I did. So going back to my story about driving that day, I realized there were so many good things about me and my partner that I had forgotten, pushed under the rug. Didn't mean it had to be perfect. It didn't even mean it had to go on much longer. In fact, it wasn't much later than that I sold my part of the practice to her. It was actually the beginning of that journey. She's still a phenomenal woman. She's doing an amazing job with our practice. She is just soaring, and I cheer her on every day. But giving myself permission to recognize I am good enough. This situation is just highlighting for me an opportunity for new choice. That the striving and the chasing and the not feeling good enough was exactly what was holding me back from seeing a new perspective and from recognizing the gift that was right there. So maybe this is resonating with you today. Where are you driving along the road? Focusing on a problem, stressing on not being good enough, stressing on the situation not being good enough, really wanting with frustration something else. I've been wanting this for so long. Why isn't it happening? I've been asking for this for so long. Why can't I manifest it? I've been working so hard towards this other thing. Why do I keep getting the same thing that I don't want? And what is the gorgeous sunset in your rear view mirror that you're driving away from and forgetting to pay attention to? And maybe it's as simple as the sunset. Maybe it's as simple as the health in your body. Maybe it's as simple as the love in your family or the wealth in your bank account. Maybe it's as simple as the clean air that you are breathing, that you are safe right now in this moment, living in a safe community, within a beautiful home. Maybe it's just that simple, which, by the way, is not simple. That is huge. You are here. You are here now, alive on this planet. The miracle of that is unbelievable. What it has taken for you to be here right now, all the obstacles you have overcome in your life to be alive, breathing in this place, feeling as good as you do in your body right now, surrounded by love that you are right now, listening to the miracle of technology bringing this message to you right now in the middle of the day. What a miracle. It is not small. And what else are you not paying attention to? That is absolutely the key to allowing you to receive everything you want. It isn't focusing on how bad you are or how not enough you are that's going to change. It's focusing on how enough you are that's going to allow the change. Focusing on the greatness that is within you and in this situation right now. That is where we find great solution, great opportunity for new perspective. That is where we get everything that you want, and you deserve it, whatever that is. So as you go through your day today, I invite you to just remember this beautiful visualization of driving somewhere, focusing so much on the problem, and missing that gorgeous sunset in your rearview mirror. And can you give yourself permission to just pull over to the side of the road, take a few deep breaths, and turn and look at the gifts that you actually have, that you can capitalize on, that you can lean on, that you can grow from, that you can invite yourself to welcome into your life, because you do deserve everything you desire. Sending you so much love today. And remember, when you feel good, that is not only when you can do good, but when really good things come to you. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes, and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.